LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are. Welcome to another Tuesday talk. Um, yes, it's a today's topic is an important one, but also it's a very sensitive one to talk about, and it's one of the mistakes that some of us make that stops us from being seen as executive material. It stops us from being promoted. And that's the mistake of not asking for perks or refusing them. I'll explain what I mean by that. If this is first time you are joining my Tuesday talk, welcome, welcome. I always talk about two topics: landing higher profile roles for senior and seasoned managers, and second one is creating higher impact positions for senior managers and executives that they are already in C-level positions and they want to go out and do some work beyond their 9 to 5 and perhaps do some advisory, consulting, mentoring, basically go beyond their organization. So these two, they have a lot in common. With the difference that one is about to landing higher profile role to get to the C-level, and the work that we do up there is to make sure that you are seen for what you can do and what you can offer, and we work on your positioning. And the second one is making sure that we are monetizing your know-how, your method, your way of operating, and so you can be of service for people that they want to get to use basically what you have gained over the years. And why do I do what I do? A girl from technology and transformation, working on executive career coaching, because throughout my career, I've seen so many great people that they are wonderful in what they do and they are constantly overlooked. And I've studied, researched, worked on this for many years, and now I'm bringing that to you. So I decided that something needs to be done, and even small changes will help. The topic for Tuesday talks, the conversations always follow the same structure: a concept, something to bring your attention and model a way of thinking, then one or two examples from real life, either myself or from my clients or students. And then I always invite you to take an action. So today's topic is very important because it's very subtle. Not so many people talk about it, and not seeking perks or not basically refusing them is something that I see it often, is talked about often, but it has not, no one gives you any solution or no one calls it out. So let me explain what I mean so you know it's a good investment of your time if you are in one of these scenarios. If someone is constantly being overlooked for senior positions, for promotions, for high profile gigs or initiatives, something is off. And one of the things that we look back and we look at it is to see throughout your career that you've been with that company or your team or your institute, when has been an opportunity that you've done something great and in that moment there has been a reward or some sort of perk that you have not asked for it or it hasn't been given to you. Let me define the perk. And when I talk about perk, we're not talking about leather couch or leather sofas or those rooms with the cigar box or, whiskey in a corner and some sort of, doors and gates and all that. Those are really old school types of perks, or first class flights. These days, I personally don't have much regards for those ones, but what I really see as a perk these days is, for example, attending types of seminar or conferences that they are really, they might not be exactly related to your work, but you know that they are interesting. Or for example, ability to participate in course or programs that they're not really in the your growth path, where no one has talked to you about it, but it's something that is definitely a good addition to your skill set, to your mindset. And then you can obviously bring these things back to your company. There's a long list of what can be seen as a perk. For example, having the apps that they're paid, but you can play with them, get ideas, learn something from them, and a lot of subscriptions that they normally take a long time to be approved, or their cost might be seen as extra, but you do know that they are needed for what you do and what you create. So firstly, spend some time to define what's the meaning of perk for you and what you are doing and what are you cooking these days. Second thing is, we talk about perks and accepting them and somewhat negotiating them, not just because we want them and not just because we can't afford them. Of course, on the salary and level that you are, most probably you are able to get them yourself. But it is to manage the impression of yourself as a manager, as a leader. And it's often difficult for people that I work with to negotiate for those ones, because it's immodest, might come across that is against our core values, that is about giving back or making do with what is given to us, or it's somehow it's contradicting to being of service to our customers. So it might come across as splurge or wasting money. But yeah, if you are doing the startup, then definitely the case that every cent counts. But if you are in a larger corporate, this might not be aligned with your core values and how you want to manage your brand as someone that puts his team first, her team first. So this has accepting or negotiating for perks is one of those topics that will come across as immodest or ambitious or asking for too much. But remember, the point here is that the way to manage it is remembering that it's for managing impression of yourself. Second one is basically you have work to get to this point, so you deserve it. So I invite you to look inside to see, do I know what is the meaning of perk for me? Did I ask for it? Was it offered to me? And when it was offered to me, how did I respond to it? Did I say, oh no, thank you, I'm all right where I am? Oh no, that's not necessary, I can cover it. What was your reaction to it? Or did you just humbly accepted it and received it? The next one is, if you know that you get to a role and you didn't get that corporate credit card, or you didn't get that invite to the seminars that you needed to go to, ask for it. Ask for it and bring it up to see if it was overlooked, or for some reasons it's there was a reason behind it. And follow it up to the point that somebody will tell you exactly why you didn't get it. And if they are able to articulate the reason is one thing, and if they're not, then you would know at least what's the situation. It's not because you didn't follow it up. It's not because that you saw it unnecessary. It's just there was a reason, or there wasn't any reason, and you are just subject to some sort of discrimination, perhaps. The last thing is that most of the time, these information don't naturally flow. So most of the time when I work with my clients, I have to write a list of things that needs to be negotiated before they're signing the contract and joining the companies, or when they are negotiating these shares or asking what needs to go into their contract, particularly if they are getting headhunted. Or in one of the cases recently, it was about a promotion and I needed to write and like a brainstorm, a list of things that needed to be negotiated before they accept the promotion or while they are accepting the promotion. And it's interesting because firstly, different companies have the meaning of perk is different for them. The meaning of perk is varies from person to person. And the way to bring it up, to even ask about it, it's interesting to see what's the reaction of the other side, what's the reaction of your company. And then a lot of times, those information are not shared. Second one, once you talk about them, the amount of money that is associated for those, what we call PEG, is so small and negligent compared to what your salary and your commission and your bonuses are, that it's just like considered nothing. So the exercise today is for you is that define what's the meaning of perk for you. See if in the past you have missed an opportunity to ask for it, take advantage of them, or see what was your reaction to it. Particularly if you are a female, if you are an introvert, if you are someone that one of her or his core values is to be very minimalistic. See what has been your reaction. And then last thing is that look for an opportunity next time when you are getting acknowledged, when you are getting recognized for something. Obviously, when there's a promotion, not every day there's a promotion, but their positive feedback is more frequent. Those are the times that you can ask for little things that they are important to you. I named the topic of today's conversation mini perks because I didn't want this conversation to be about these grand first class business flight or these massive rooms with leather couches, or I didn't want it to be that picture, but I wanted to bring your attention to the way you go about accepting these little perks or asking for them is definitely showing who you are and what's your caliber, and if you see yourself on that level. All right, my friend, that's all I wanted to share with you. Look at this one. This is one of those tiny things that is difficult to ask, is difficult to negotiate, and is mostly not talked about, but it does send a meaningful signal to people that are around you. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next week, Tuesdays, as always. Same time, same place, but a different topic. Have a good one.